Today's one. Happy Thursday. Clearly, I'm not keeping track of the days very well. They all are blending together at this point. We're going to go ahead and get started with chapter 24. This is called Imaginary Hero. Mr. Daniels asks us to write about our favorite fictional character, a person we consider to be our hero, and be ready to tell the class about who it is. It's funny how much trouble Albert has with this. He tells Mr. Daniels that looking up to a character that isn't real is illogical, but Mr. Daniels tells him that he'll be good for it, which confuses the heck out of Albert. He mumbles all the way back to his seat. Albert never mumbles. He either talks or he doesn't. Oliver is sitting in his seat, listing the names of every superhero I've ever heard of. Superman, Captain America, Batman. He looks upset when he turns to Suki nearby. Is Robin a superhero? I mean, his outfit isn't scary at all, and he has no special powers, but Batman doesn't really either. But at least Batman can drive the Batmobile and fly the Bat plane. Robin just rides along. I don't think I'd want to just ride along. What do you think? Suki opens her mouth, but no sound comes out. It doesn't matter because Oliver has moved on. Spider-Man. Maybe I'll write about him. He holds up his palm in Suki's face. He shoots webs and swings from buildings. That would be the best. Hey, freak, Shay whispers, glancing over at Mr. Daniels, who is working with someone at his desk to make sure he can't hear. We don't need to hear every little weird thought that's in your tiny little brain. We're trying to work. Oliver's face is unmoving until he says, "If I were Aquaman, I would summon the piranhas to take you away. You could be their queen." Keisha starts laughing and Mr. Daniels finally looks up. "Keisha?" She puts her arm down on her desk and leans her forehead against it, trying to stop laughing. The more she tries, the more Shay glares. With Mr. Daniels watching, most everyone goes back to their work. After a while, even Keisha does too. But I keep looking around the room. I love how Albert can't choose one character while Oliver wants to write about all of them. However, I don't know how much trouble I'm having writing a fictional character. It makes me wish that I were a fictional character. When Mr. Daniels calls me up to his desk, he's holding my paper. A teacher holding my paper is rarely a good thing, but Mr. Daniels doesn't cover up my paper with red ink like other teachers. They used to look like they were bleeding. Mr. Daniels has written in green and he apologizes for not being able to read my writing. He says that my character sounds really interesting, but he'd like me to know a little bit more. Will you read this out loud for me? Uh-oh. I take it, squeezing my eyes into tilts, trying to read my own handwriting. I wait for him to pressure me to try harder, to do something I can't do. He slides the paper out of my hand. "Well," he says, "why don't you just tell me instead of reading? First of all, tell me your person's name." I feel such a relief that I'm afraid to blink. I hate this pressure, but this time I've been saved. I keep my voice down so no one can hear. "It's Roy G. Biv." "Oh, wait," he says, "like the colors of the color spectrum?" I nod. He stares. Before he can tell me I've messed up the directions, I say, "You said fictional, and I figured you meant a book character like Alice from Alice in Wonderland, but Roy isn't real, and there isn't any other character that means as much to him as me. I love all the colors, and I use them in art, and art is about the only thing." I stop before I confess to feeling like a failure at everything else. "That's clever, Allie," he tells me. "I actually like that you chose someone who isn't a book character exactly. You thought out of the box." I see a mind movie of me standing outside of a large glass box and everyone else is inside of it. "Do you know what it means to think outside of the box?" I shake my head. "It means that you are a creative thinker. You think differently than other people." Great. Just once I want to be told I'm like everyone else. It's a good thing to be an outside thinker. People like that change the world. Wait, his face doesn't look like it's a bad thing. Is that like setting the world on fire? I ask, smiling a bit. Exactly that, he nods. Then he stares at me long enough for me to wonder what he's thinking before sending me back to my seat. The next day, when it's time to tell the class who my character is, I began asking everyone what their favorite color is. It's fun. I think being a part of being a teacher would be cool. I'd rather eat crayons than do the rest of it, though. I take out a color wheel that I made at home. It's white cardboard that I've broken into seven pie-shaped pieces. I figured out that each angle has to be about 51 degrees and have 7 equal pie pieces. I use Travis's protract. Wow, I cannot speak. Whew. I take out Travis's protractor to draw the lines exactly. Then I color each piece with a different Roy G. Biv color that I made really dark. What color do you get if you mix all the colors together? I ask. Most kids guess dark colors. My favorite color is white, I say, because it's a mixture of all the colors. Albert nods a little. Shay tells everyone that makes no sense, but I know the answer. If you mix paint together, that's true. But if you're talking about just colors pure in nature, they will make white when mixed together. I brought this wheel to prove it. I feel like a magician. I show them the wheel with all of its colors. Then I stick a paper clip that I have unbent through the hole in the center and spin the wheel. It turns white as it spins fast. As it slows down, the colors reappear. Jessica leans forward. That's pretty cool. Shay looks at it with her squinty eyes until Max agrees. Then she nods and agrees too. Are you going to give that away? Oliver asks. I hesitate. I wasn't going to. I look down at it. But I guess I could. You like that, huh, Oliver? Mr. Daniels asked. I'd give it to my bus driver. She likes things with rainbow colors. Well, that's thoughtful of you, Oliver, Mr. Daniels says. I sit down at my desk thinking about whether I should give the color disc to Oliver. Jessica and Shay are talking behind me. Can I have another bracelet? Jessica asked Shay. I don't think so. I can hardly keep up with people wanting them. Besides, you already have enough. Well, I wouldn't mind another. There's a pause and I want to turn around, but I'm supposed to be listening in. Listen, Shay says. You have 7 already, and I have other orders to fill. And besides that, you still owe me $3 for the last one. I'm not going to give you another until you pay me for what's already on your wrist. Wait, I whip around. I can't help it. You charge for your friendship bracelets? For your friends? Eavesdrop much? Yeah, so what? You want one? Jessica leans forward. Wait, you're going to give her one? No, idiot. I'm not going to give her one. She's going to pay me. But you know what? Allie should pay more. A lot more. She turns to me. $10. I laugh. No, thanks. I'd rather wear handcuffs. I can't believe Shay charges her friends for something that's supposed to stand for loyalty and friendship. And I can't believe they paid. You are such a dupe, Allie Nickerson, Shay says. I look over at Keisha and Albert, and I realize that I have been so lucky all along, and I didn't even see it. Aw, good for Allie. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.